play workshop.
Hey guys, Martin Lopez with Curiosity Theory. How you guys doing? We're super excited. We got 3 amazing guests tonight. Payam Haghani, Joshua T. Berglan, and Thomas I always say his name. I want to call him Magnum, but it's Mangum. So I think everybody,
whatever you want to say.
And tonight we're talking about gratitude. So, which is, I think, a really great topic to talk about, especially going through what we're going through. This is a really awesome time and probably a challenging time to experience gratitude or express gratitude. You know, gratitude is a really powerful thing. In fact, research says that something as simple as like writing 5 things down a week, writing it once a week, can boost your happiness up to 25%. So, you know, I do gratitude practice every day. So I think I'm up 25%. So, you know, and I'm going to hopefully be 25% more happy and more grateful next week. There you go. So without further ado, I'm going to bring my buddies on. Here you go. So please welcome. Where are you guys at? Let me see. Let me bring you guys. Add to the screen. Add to the screen. Add to the screen. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Did you lose weight, Martin? You look good.
Thank you. I did. I appreciate that. Thanks. Yeah.
You look good, man.
Right around 30 pounds.
Wow.
About another 30 to go, though. But I'm grateful for the 30 I've lost.
You're like 20 pounds from Ricky Martin, bro.
Ricky wants to be like me.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna have you guys all introduce yourself. I'll start with Payam, and then Thomas, and then Joshua. And the reason I want Joshua to go third, because Joshua is all about, you know, gratitude, and his whole show is called Gratitude Unfiltered. So I'm pretty sure every time Joshua talks, we end up with a good subject to talk about. So Payam, tell us a little bit about you, and then we'll go to Thomas, and then we'll go to Joshua.
Sure. My name is Payam Haghani. I am the Gap Coach. That's the name of my business, the Gap Coaching, and I help business owners, CEOs, and managers. And I'm an ontological coach, so I help clients to be very conscious of who they are being and how they're showing up and the quality and behaviors that they bring to their life. I am enthusiastic about life. I'm grateful about it, and this is such a great topic that I want to learn a lot how to even be more grateful. So thank you, Martin, for having me here.
You got it. Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas Mangum here from San Diego, and I'm a leadership development consultant and coach. And up until last November, a speaker at major corporations, but that's not happening right now. So, but still leadership development. And when I say leadership, I mean where everyone is a leader. When you wake up in the morning, you're a leader, which is perfect with this topic of gratitude, because that's being a leader, is owning whether you're grateful or not grateful. Pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Excited to have you here. Joshua, my brother. It's so good to see you, man.
I always love seeing you, man. And thank you for being here. What is it? Did you call this the Curiosity Theory?
Well, that's my book. That's my program. Yeah, you took the program. Yeah. And
well, if you guys haven't got the book Curiosity Theory yet, or had the chance to do the workshop, you guys should check it out, because I remember, well, it was really the first time I was around you and went through your workshop, and I was just blown away. It's absolutely powerful. It applies to every part of your life. So if you guys have not grabbed the Curiosity Theory, you should do that. So, but yeah, my name is Joshua T. Berglan, and I'm the host of Gratitude Unfiltered, a talk show that is about finding gratitude through life's most traumatic moments. And we have some fun too.
We're going to have some fun tonight. Guys. So, you know,
there's the book.
There it is. You know, I think like more now than ever, or maybe not more now than ever, but right now, like being able to have gratitude for what's going on. Like people are losing their jobs, they're dying, they're getting sick. I mean, there's like a lot of really tough things happening. So I mean, why would we even consider having a topic, you know, called gratitude? I mean, I look at Joshua and I said, let's talk about gratitude, and you know, like why would we even talk about that, Thomas?
I think this is perfect. This has been a constant conversation. So this is well-timed with you even putting gratitude out there, because the last couple of weeks, it's been a regular conversation of like, wow, in some weird way, I'm really grateful this is going on in the world right now. And I don't mean the tragedy. Let me just get that all straight for anyone that jumps down my throat on that one. It's like, it's not about the tragedy. It's not about the things that go on. But all of a sudden, we are all forced to reinvent and get creative and be resourceful and find something to appreciate. Because what if this is the moment that they finally reinvent that thing that's going on in their life? That's why I think this is perfect. Like, yes, be grateful for what you have. I'm grateful for all the different things that are happening, especially being grounded. Martine, you know that. I fly, I'm usually on a plane every week, used to be.
Yeah.
And I'm deeply grateful for that because I'm being forced, whether I like it or not, into reinvention.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding you. I'm not messing with you. It's like, I'm really enjoying this. And I'm grateful that I'm not ill either. But even if it happened, I'd still find some gratitude in that.
And to find something in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Joshua?
I love what's happening in the world right now. I know it's chaotic and there's people dying, and there's people that die every day. The truth is that I really believe that God has given us a good shaking, because we've gotten so far away from what our truest intention of human being was.
Mm-hmm.
And we've become obsessed with things. We look at the influencers, and we are lusting after people's cars and their houses, whether it's not theirs or not. We've just become so materialistic and full of consumption that we really have not. We've gotten so far away from what's true and what's pure to our existence as humans. And I like this because we're having all of these things that removed from us, and it's forcing us to focus on the things that really, really matter in life. This is the closest thing I think that we can get to a complete reset, or it's kind of a forced reset of, that it's really okay. Our jobs have been taken away. The TVs are, full of just crap right now. We've had things that really don't matter taken from us, and it's really forced us to look inside at the things that we really are blessed with. And I love that. I'm grateful for that, because it's forced people to have the conversations with a spouse or kids that they've avoided for years because I'm too busy. People are reconnecting with God because, they can't use the excuse they're too busy. They're not too busy to pray now. They're not too busy to write what they're grateful for. They're not they're too busy to speak to their spouse or their kids because they have nowhere to go. And it's forcing hard conversations. It's forcing acceptance of different realities. Here in America, we are so blessed and privileged, and you look overseas at some of the things that they're dealing with. No matter where you go, if you look out, we know and we can realize that we have it better than a lot of people in the world. But hopefully we're looking out in a way that is about focusing out and serving. But at home, where we're trapped, we're looking inside into the areas that we need to heal. And I think a lot of us are finding or rediscovering a relationship with our Creator. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
That is beautiful.
I think it's the most important thing to me.
That's great. That's awesome. Payam.
Well said, Joshua. It's really hard to follow that. Thank you for saying that. It is definitely an interesting period of time for us human beings. It's an opportunity. I definitely see that as an opportunity to, as you said, Josh, to go deep, to find the purpose of our life, to reinvent, re-innovate who we are. Why am I doing all of the things that I'm supposed to do? Why do I want to collect all of this material? Why am I going to this spiritual class? Why am I the time to question everything and then channel it in a path that would make me fulfilled and would make me satisfied and a joyful human being. And at the same time, this is the perfect time to practice empathy, to practice sympathy and bring compassion. like the selfishness that all of us we're involved with around the ego. This is time to pause it and say, hey, I can die easily. I can lose my job super easy. All those money can disappear in like with a nanometer virus. So am I living my life fully? Am I living with the purpose that the creator wanted me to do? So I see as that there are more positive impacts of COVID-19 than the negative side. Even the fear that shows up, it's an opportunity for people to face that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's a choice.
That's how you followed the
Right?
answer. That was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
That's right.
I want to highlight something is because it's really a choice to focus in on that.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's what you were part of what you were getting to with the whole gratitude thing of, you know, even if you're ill, even if people have passed in your life, even if you're without a job, even without this, if there's breath in your lungs, you're not done. There is something. Oh my gosh, I am so grateful for the breath in my lungs. The world may be exploding around me, and I have that. I have willpower. I can choose.
Yeah. But I love what you said, and I think it's the kind of thing, Thomas, that could be taken so wrong because so many people want to throw something that's different than what you said. Like, I'm glad this is happening. Like what's the benefit? What can I get out of it? It's like you can approach life and say, I'm a victim of life, or you can take it and you can say, wow, this, like, what's the opportunity here? Like Payam said, like, what's the opportunity? What's the choice? Where can I focus?
Well,
where do I want to focus?
Yeah, I mean, well, let me just add one thing to that is that I even noticed for a moment that I know you guys probably caught it because you're coaches, you're consultants, you know this is when I qualified of like, oh, I'm grateful right now. I love what's happening right now, and I qualified. Oh, but of course there's tragedy. I'm not tragedy. I'm not happy for that. But it's sort of catering. It's sort of smalling. It's smalling. Let me just turn to me is like, it's smalling me down. Now, Martin, you've known me for a while, and that doesn't do anything for anyone.
No.
And my truth is, listen, I have bad days. I have good days. I have horrible, less than best Thomas days. And I'm just shining. I'm letting that out, you know, because it's me. And at the end of the day, yes. Oh my gosh, you can focus on the crap and the crap that's going down, or brothers and sisters, you can say, you know what, I'm in this game. Let me, I'm at it. This is my time to shine. This is my time to reinvent. And I always go back to this reinvention. We just came from Easter and Passover. The resurrection. What if it's the resurrection of your soul?
Yeah. Well, you can choose. That's the thing. You can choose. You can choose whatever you want. You can choose it to be. You can choose the victim version of it, or you can choose the hero. I call it the hero version. You know, like where you're gonna say, this is what I'm gonna do. This is where I headed. This is the direction that I said I wanted to go when I was a child or when I grew up. And right now you have that opportunity. You have that opportunity to read, to digest stuff that's powerful, to watch the videos that you know that are powerful for you, just to pray, to meditate, to do all the things that we know make us stronger. And if there's anything that's foundational to any of that, it's gratitude. Gratitude's I wrote a couple notes about that. I was reading a book on gratitude and said gratitude has one of the strongest links to mental health and satisfaction with life of any personality trait, and that's actually been studied. Grateful people experience higher levels of emotions such as joy, enthusiasm, love, happiness, and optimism. Gratitude is a discipline, protects us from the destructive impulses such as envy, greed, resentment, and bitterness. It's like it just causes us. Gratitude causes us to actually be curious and then look from curiosity, because we have to actually figure out what we're grateful for. It's not just obvious. And if things are, and the way that I look at it, if things are obvious that I'm grateful for, I'm probably taking it a little bit for granted.
Yeah. Can I add something here?
Yes, please.
So there's a There's a gratitude hack that I love to teach people, because I heard what you said at the beginning of the show, and I hate that study. Hate it. Which is, I know we're talking about gratitude, and I'm using the word hate, but it's a cop out, and it's lazy to just write down 5 things you're grateful for.
Yeah.
You're better off saying one thing you're grateful for, asking yourself why after, why, and answer it till you can't answer it anymore.
So
why
deep,
are you grateful?
I love
because
that.
if you don't get it in your heart, it doesn't matter. The heart brain is the best. You have a stomach brain, you got this stupid brain, and you got this brain.
That's what I'm here for.
There's a reason in the Bible it says, guard your heart. Like this heart brain. I got a funny story we don't have time for about heart transplants and what happens. Crazy story that it's the science behind this is wild, but your heart brain, you got to get your gratitude in your heart or nothing changes. So you're better off doing one really long gratitude than you are writing down. I know people that sit around and write hundreds front to back. They're the most miserable freaking people I know. You know why? Because your head lies to you.
Yeah.
Your heart doesn't. So get that crap, get it in your heart, and it changes everything. What's up, Eric Swanson?
Eric, what's happening, my brother? Eric says hello. He was just doing gratitude. I just saw he was doing a Facebook Live with a bunch of people, and he was talking about gratitude. So obviously today's the day for gratitude.
Every day is the day for gratitude.
every
I heard his voice. Is Eric in there somewhere?
No, I just do an impression of him. I just do my,
So the question is like, we hear the positive side of it, the boost of energy that would give us, but why don't we practice it? Why are we not grateful? So Krishnamurti's quote came to my mind, and I just want to show it to you guys. Like, the image that I have of who I am, or the image
skinny, dude.
He's grateful. He doesn't eat very much.
The image of who I am or who I should become in the future would stop me from understanding who I am right now. So I think one of the reasons that a lot of people are not grateful, or I catch myself that I'm not grateful, because I forced myself to something different than who I am right now. Because if I embrace it completely, I should be so grateful. Like, I'm breathing. Like, every single morning I wake up, thanks God, I'm breathing and I'm alive. I could die last night. So it's like all these constant images and pressure and media and society that just pushes us to be who we're not right now. And it's easy. It's easy to neglect and nag and be frustrated, although we are one of the most successful people in our society. So that's what I'm practicing, to just, and it's hard, it's hard because since we were a kid in school, in our job, our friends, they're just talk to you about something that you should become. But not a lot of people acknowledge you for who you are being, for what you're doing right now, at this exact moment.
Yeah.
Doctor, so I heard Nate Thomas bring up passion and purpose. I love the question, like, what's the meaning of life? It's to fulfill your purpose. There's zero argument. The only thing, when we're created, when we had a purpose before we were a gleam in our daddy's eye. Before we were born, God, our creator, gave us a purpose, a specific assignment that only we can do. Everyone on the planet has a set of gifts that came from God. They didn't do anything to earn them. They have a gift and a skill set that is designed to be used for other people. Your purpose is about other people. It has nothing to do with you. You get to be a vessel. And then the very funny thing about this, that's so great, the paradox of all of this, is that to bring you joy, you serve. To be happy, to be filled, you're the highest vibrating thing that you can ever do is serve. And but that's part of our purpose. And the people that are withholding their stories and all these little things that they're ashamed of and the little secrets they keep, first of all, there's nothing more. That is the greatest gratitude killer on the planet. Your secrets are going to kill you. And here's the other thing. That secret that you're keeping is your gift to the world.
Yeah. Every
that
single
secret
time.
You're keeping
Every
is the
single
fuel.
time.
It's every time. When I kept being like the 6 times I was in jail, when I kept 3 of the 6 secret, when I was afraid to talk about having HIV, when I was all the struggles that I had before Gratitude Unfiltered came out of me, all of those things, oh my gosh, come to find out, that was my very thing that fueled my purpose. It's such a blessing. And now we live in this world. Here's another thing. And I'm kind of like, this is after this, I can tap out. This is the last thing I have to say about this.
It's about to drop a mic here. I love you, man.
Never mind.
No.
You just set a bar for the.
I know. Hold on. Let me raise my computer up so we can talk and get to the next level. Bring it, brother. I appreciate it. Keep bring it.
No, we'll let somebody else go.
Okay,
because I may, if I go on this rant, I may not stop. So
okay,
I'll wait
but you'll remember.
A moment.
But you'll remember, right?
Yeah. It is a drop the mic. It's my walk off. Throw out my ear pads. Like drop.
I love what you said. Like you didn't do anything to earn this. Like you didn't do anything to earn this. But my thought is that you have a choice to develop it. Like we show up with skills, and these skills are given, and some different people are gonna have different ways of how we got them, but we end up with skills. We end up with purposes. Now we can move through our purposes. We can actually follow through with that, or we can just let it go. And I can tell you how many times, with the curiosity theory that I have looked at it and I said, I have to be grateful. I not have to be, but I have chosen to be grateful, and that gratitude is what got me to the next level, would had me finish my book, had me finish my program, has me do the coaching, has me do all that, had me do this. Because without gratitude, I wouldn't even be on, I wouldn't be on right now, because this is an expression of gratitude. It requires gratitude to be here, because there's a degree of ownership of a conversation that I've learned and I'm developing called curiosity. It's not me. I'm not here by myself like so many people sit there and they just preach and say everything that they want to say. I'm actually here to learn from Thomas, from Payam, from Joshua, and I do that. I can, every time we get together, guys. I mean, I'm listening to what you guys got to say. I'm getting the goodness from you guys, and to build who I am, to develop me to the next level. And I don't go and say, let me take you out to lunch so I can tell you something. Can I take you out to lunch so you can teach me something? And that's what I'm grateful for. And like I said, I didn't do anything to earn the curiosity theory, but I certainly is going to do everything I can to keep it and to build it and to give it away.
So Martin, thanks for saying that. You said that you are super grateful for everything that has happened for you, and you are here because of that. But were you grateful all the time at this level?
No. My father, when I was little, my father would literally go to the garage, get a 2x4, cut a sliver off the side of the 2x4 and bring that sliver that he bought to hit me with. And at that moment, I wasn't grateful for that. But I can tell you that I am grateful because I would never treat anybody like that. I wouldn't treat my children like that. And I'm grateful. But that hostility, that way that he approaches, is a way that's in me. It was in me. And I had the choice to keep going with that kind of person, or I had a choice to say, hey, there's times where I was upset with my kids. I'm not going to spank my children. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to treat them with the kind of respect that I felt I needed. And then now when I look at children, I look at them differently. I'm able to see children as a different version of innocence, because what's an 11-year-old child going to do to a 30-year-old man that wants to beat him? There's no way to protect. So I am grateful. I am grateful for that.
Show his grinder account to the world.
What's that?
Completely inappropriate joke.
Without that,
I don't even know how that related, but I was interested. What were you saying?
Without that, I wouldn't.
No, he said, "How can an 11-year-old mess up an adult?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." Inappropriate joke.
Yeah. And
Hey,
I
you know-
learned, and that came to me in meditation. That came to me meditating on the beach, like in Mission Bay, just sitting there meditating. And I was meditating about what happened to me. And when I came on my meditation, I saw all these kids just around me. And I looked at them and I noticed they're all like 10, 11, 12 years old. And that their parents or whoever their adults are around. And I just thought, they've got no chance. These children have got no chance against an adult. You have no chance. Just a
So
different.
You said something, Martine, that I just want to highlight, because you were telling the story of your dad and how he took that sliver of wood and then hit you, and you said something really powerful. I think it's one of the most powerful things that we have, that we can do as a human, and that is make a different choice.
Yeah.
Because you could have let that sit on you as that my dad's an asshole. My dad, I friggin' hate my dad. I hate. Listen, we all know here, you could insert the blank. I hate whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to give examples. Just let your mind go with I hate, I can't stand, I can't tolerate. And that is, you back to that victim thing. And the only thing that really hurts, and I mean just makes you feel like crap, is you.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt this other person. It doesn't hurt anyone else. I can hate, I can yell at someone else. I'm the one that's feeling like shit.
Yeah.
I'm the one that I'm hurting. So what if that I was able to free myself? You were able, I'm going to propose that you were able to free yourself from these mental and emotional shackles and the slavery of your mind and your emotions from what your dad did to you.
I'm still working
And
on
anyone else listening, in a second,
Yeah.
we can release that and say, God, I'm grateful I got cancer.
Yeah.
I'm grateful I have HIV. I'm grateful that my grandma died. I'm grateful that my girlfriend hates me. I'm grateful. Now, in context, if this is a new concept, the whole gratitude thing is, look at it as a piece of freedom. Don't focus in on, oh, I'm so grateful, I want more cancer.
Yeah.
No, it's a way to
Give me
free
more
us.
AIDS, please.
Yeah, right. It's a way to freed. It's like, oh, if I can say, oh, I'm grateful for this, and there's an and. It seems to be an and in there. There's an and. It opens itself up. I love you, Joshua. You are hilarious.
I love it. He's getting loose. It's not
I
even
can
9
make those
o'clock.
jokes because,
I catch I don't miss anything. I have heard every single sidebar joke.
I missed the one. I have to go back and listen to that one.
And you know what? And I think Joshua's got onto something there too. If you can't laugh at this stuff, let me rephrase that. If you can laugh at it, oh my gosh, who's in control now?
Yeah.
Who's in control if I can laugh and have fun with this?
dude,
So-
you're nailed.
Yeah.
Can I? So you just nailed something, Thomas. Like my show Saturday was about the paradox of forgiveness. This whole time I hated my father when it literally showed up late, an hour late to my dad's funeral because I was so high on cocaine. I hated my dad. The process of forgiveness, when I finally was able to have compassion and then forgive him when I understood that it happened to him too, the compassion set in, then the forgiveness. But this journey of forgiveness over the last 5 years, I've actually been able to shift so far away from that piece of shit to, I am so grateful for him. And you know what? I probably need to ask him for forgiveness more than I needed him to forgive me or for me to forgive him.
Yeah.
Like, and just that realization, like, oh my God, I had a part in this too. I didn't ask for what happened to me as a child, but the adult stuff, I made that choice. I was old enough to choose. I chose to be angry and pissed off. And what you're saying too about the last thing I'm going to say about to your point earlier, when you just get comfortable with being honest, like Gratitude Unfiltered is about putting a spotlight on my shadow world, and I do it in real time. So like if I had a meth relapse about a year and 3 months ago, I think it was. The next day I went and talked about it on the air. But I knew that if I kept it a secret, I'm 1 inch from going into the darkest of shadows you can imagine. I know by being on the other side of truth What are you going to say about me? Like, what can anyone say? If I confess what I do, you can be mad, but I'm immediately giving you the opportunity to forgive. So, it's so freeing. And now that we have a bunch of men on here, I'm going to talk about this. Men, quit being pussies.
I agree. Yeah.
Seriously, quit being liars. Just be straight up. If you're not, like, don't go into a relationship lying about what you like and what you don't. Just be honest about it. Because the
Radical
reason
honesty.
Yeah. I like that. And
the
how I would
mistress that
say
you don't
that-
want to be with is because you're not being honest. You got to start being honest about who you are.
Yeah.
And another thing, if you have sexual identity issues, let me talk to you about that real quick. Be honest about it. Because if you were molested as a child by somebody of the same sex, your personality will split. Your neural pathways are forever changed. It's okay. You aren't the only one. Trust me, I saw a lot of you guys in the shadows, and I've seen you on Grindr and everything else too. The fact is, this double life you're living is not really a secret anymore. And it's so much more freeing to be able to let all of you out and just be honest about it. I assure you, in that honesty, you will find a woman that has the same freak flag you do. Just be honest. Quit lying. Quit playing games.
Well, Martine,
Quit
there's your next
manipulating.
episode.
Take care of your home.
Yeah.
I'm done preaching.
I love it.
Martine, this is your next episode on the curiosity theory. Talk about curiosity.
Yeah.
We're gonna get back to the Grindr profiles.
I'm not in the small talk.
Look, guys cheating, going on the sex apps, looking to hook up on the side when the girl's not around. That ain't right, man. That's wrong. That messes people up. Just be honest. If you want that, just be honest about it.
And be straight up about it. Yeah.
Radical honesty.
Yeah, no,
I get fired up about this subject.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, bring it, brother. Yeah, I think that there's an acceptance for lying. There's a culture. Like, we have this culture. All you gotta do is watch the news, watch the politicians. Doesn't matter what side you watch, they're just all full of shit, and they all lie. And the only person that calls the people on the lie are the people on the other side. And who even knows if they're even calling? You know what I mean? Like when's somebody on your own side gonna call you on a lie and be willing to? That's what the whole curiosity theory is about, Be curious about like what's out there, and be willing to listen through curiosity when somebody says something to you. Because I think that when you lie, I think for the most part, people are kind of calling you on it, but we have sly ways of like maneuvering ourselves and manipulating ourselves out of it. Somebody says, "Did you do that?" Yeah, and okay, they kind of like because the way that we operate as human beings. We know how to mess with people, and we know how to get ourselves off the hook. That's what the whole lying thing is like, how can I get myself off the hook for what's real for me, what's true for me?
Right on to it.
Right?
Dude, the other problem is, though, we have information overload. As technology advanced, we've become more corrupt. We're more separated from our true calling. All these little conveniences have done nothing but complicate life. And we now have all of this information that we take in, and we don't know what's real and what's not, because obviously if you're watching all the news, you want to believe it. But then if you're reading this you're on the dark web and you're finding all this conspiracy stuff about the Catholic Church, and like, you want to believe that too. Yeah. It gets real confusing. Here's the thing. We all talk about gratitude being important. We all talk about prayer being important. How about this? Meditation's a part of prayer. Meditation's a part of you meditate on the Bible or whatever religious text you have. The only person we should ever be curious about what he thinks and what his opinion is our freaking creator, because he's the manufacturer for our lives. He's the one that designed us for a purpose. Martine, I love you to death, but you giving me advice on how to live my life? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No. You're just screwed up as I am, Thomas.
You keep going in and out. Your volume keeps going in and out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, like the thing is why would we go to anyone but our creator to get the information we need about what to do next? Is it our vision, our purpose, how we can improve? Why would we go to anyone but our Creator?
To that point, Joshua.
Great question. Yeah, it's a great question.
Really it's interesting you mentioned that point, because I remember it was like one of my corporate groups. I remember the first time I started really talking about gratitude as a tool, as a strategy, as a tactic in corporate leadership. Now, all of this is leadership. Being grateful is being a leader in your life. Let me just make sure we're causing a distinction with the terminology of leader. It's not just that you're in charge of or managing a bunch of people. I'm looking at it as someone leading their life. So being grateful and making choices, you're a leader in your life. Let's just get that out of the way. So I'm talking to one of my corporate groups, and we're talking about gratitude. And this one executive asked me a question, and I love this question now. And he said, like, I don't really get it, man. What's up? Like, how the hell can being grateful help me insert the blank, whatever he was looking to work on?
Yeah.
And I love that. And I looked at it this way, and sure, I could give a bunch of reasons and all of that. And I said, well, what other strategies have you tried? What other tactics have you tried? Because I don't really give a crap about giving some new. Why would I try to convince someone? It's ridiculous. So he went down the whole list and all of this, and they're like, I don't know, this isn't working. They're like, how about, have you ever considered simply being grateful that you're having issues with your coworker? I mean, it was a coworker issue because that's primarily what I work on, and that kind of unfolded a whole world. And he goes, well, are you sure it'll work? And I said, do you go to church? And he goes, yeah. Why? Are you, and he gave me a couple of reasons that, are you sure it'll work? And he goes, well, but I believe. And I said, now I want to open this up. I want to open this up to my non-believing friends or otherwise believing friends, because this has nothing to do with an organized religion or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. I don't even care if you call it the Creator, Great Spirit, or nothing. I don't care. Or whatever, Jesus, it makes Christ. Sense. So let's go back. Jesus Christ, there you are again. I heard that.
Just throw him in there any chance he gets.
So he does.
I'll talk about Jesus anytime.
I know you will. So here's the overarching piece that no matter what you believe, I remember. This ties in. Years ago, I used to pick on my friends that are really deeply they're practicing Jews, practicing Catholics, and all of this, because I just didn't believe in God. I just didn't believe in any of this, and so I'd be anti. I'd be forceful, as if I need to be right and you need to be wrong. Yeah. Until I realized something.
What's that?
What is the? It's like insurance, and I'm sort of being funny too. It's like insurance. It's like an insurance policy. Hell, I don't know. Do I really know if he's real and whatever? You going to church, what does that matter for me? I mean, what if it's an insurance policy? So it's sort of like being grateful. Somebody say, well, I don't really believe in this gratitude crap, Thomas. And I said, what do you have to lose? And you have everything to win and nothing to lose, dude. Yeah. Your life sucks right now, or you still have your problem that's going on right now. And notice I'm putting the bar really low here, guys. All right. And I mean that on purpose. I mean that because what is the harm? So when I'm dealing with skeptics about gratitude, that's like, oh, that's a goofy skill. I don't want to hire you to come in and teach this kind of thing. Or don't talk about that gratitude, that woo-woo stuff, Thomas. I'm like, really? Okay. All right. That's cool. But what if it's sort of an insurance policy in your life? You have everything to gain and nothing really to lose.
Yeah, absolutely. And things are interesting. It's interesting what we fight about. Like, what are we willing to take a stand against about? Like gratitude, like to be grateful for something. Like why would
I don't think it's any different than when someone says, Thomas, may I pray for you? You come off stage with it's like, may I pray for you? Yeah. It used to be a long time ago. It used to irritate me. And that was my own stuff, guys. That was my own stuff. That has nothing to do with them. Until I said, you absolutely may. It doesn't matter what I believe. It's why not?
I love that. Gratitude, saying what you're grateful for, is also saying I love you to God. And that's the greatest expression of love. And of course, I think saying I think saying I love you to God is also purposefully, because I think to live purposefully, you're having to check in with God and checking yourself and checking the ego and checking all that stuff, especially as men. You know, there's a lot of checks and balances that take place and trying to, you know, stay on the path to your purpose, the true path, because there's obviously different levels, and I'm a kingdom-minded. I don't call myself a Christian, but I love Jesus and I follow Jesus, and I'm more kingdom mentality.
I follow Jesus too. I follow Jesus. I follow Jesus too. He's in my improv group. Martin, you've met Jesus.
Well, I've tried to go to your improv group, but you know, you guys keep moving around. You know,
it's online.
Oh,
wait a second, you do online improv?
We do online improv. It's going on right now. I missed my meeting.
Oh, tonight's Wednesday. That's right.
And Joshua, you might love this because this is one thing. It's so cool. So we have a member. His name is Jesus. And what I love about this is, I mean, we're improv. It's the stuff we say on stage. I mean, you know, it's awful sometimes. And but he took a picture one time. You know, on the back of people's cars, it says Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior, that kind of stuff. So he's always going. He takes pictures and goes like this. Me. Jesus is your Lord and Savior.
Excuse me, you're talking about me? You mean me? You mean me?
I think that is brilliant. I would do the same thing. You know what? I'm not
it's not Joshua Christ.
I'm not standing on the corner with signs saying you're going to hell and Jesus is the only way. Like, I don't like that. I don't think Jesus makes sense.
Well,
but I love the brilliance of that because that's something I think Jesus would even laugh at that.
That is the picture that I have. I have the Family Guy version of Jesus that's sitting up there like, dudes, you guys totally missed the point.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
Still.
Absolutely.
Seth MacFarlane joke.
Yeah, we're missing the point. Even the best followers are missing some points, I think. So let's talk about
to add on to what you're talking about, the creator. We are on the same page because we believe in the creator with whatever belief we have. But I see a lot of people are struggling because they don't believe in the creator. They don't believe that there is a higher purpose behind our lives. So they are just isolated in their self-image and their ego. And the ego is gonna, as long as you're a good friend with ego in a negative way, you're gonna suffer. Because I feel like I'm grateful because, like the insurance that you said, Thomas, like I know that I'm insured in a way that I didn't choose to come to this planet, and I'm here and I'm alive and healthy. There is intelligence behind it. So a deep level of surrender. You know, I surrender to COVID-19, to things that I take a lot of action but don't get the result, to people's attitude, to everything that is out of my control, you know, focusing on what's in my power and be responsible for it and take action, and then surrendering what is out of my power. So I love what you're talking about, the creator, but the issue is that a lot of people don't believe in a creator, don't believe in a higher consciousness and an intelligence.
I think it's semantics, don't you think, Payam? I mean, I'm not attached to any particular languaging. I have friends that say all different things. Friends that say Great Spirit, some that say Creator, some say God. They use all sorts of terms, and then I'm more of the version that I believe that we are all energy, a much more of a Buddhist type of look at it. And here's the interesting thing: I don't need to be right about it.
Or spirit.
I just don't give a crap about being right. I would never argue with anyone because that makes no sense. Does that make sense?
Totally makes sense. You know,
dogmatic.
The
biggest problem I think religion's done is recruit people.
Is what?
Yeah, a lot of people just want to recruit people.
So religion is about
network marketing.
You're essentially like from the emotional intelligence world, you're enrolling somebody into a program. I mean,
it's like a new.
That's what religion has become, but it's a little bit more convenient anyway. But that's not what life with Jesus is.
Yeah,
I mean, we are spiritual.
Let's get back to kind of what we were talking. This is really a great conversation, and it may have something.
But talking about that, but okay.
We've got about 11 minutes to go, so let's kind of go. I would like to take us in a different direction. let's do this conversation again. Is that cool? Because I think this conversation, like directly, like let's put a banner up and let's actually have this conversation. You down with that?
I don't even know what conversation we were having specifically.
You're just talking.
We're going to talk about Joshua Christ.
I weave conversations in and out of others. Like you can't have one conversation with me. You have to have 8 at the same time.
I love it.
So Martin, so here's the trick.
Yeah.
So like we like some banner about, I don't know, spirituality, Jesus Christ, something religion.
I think celebrating what you believe. It's like real quick. So who am I to tell anybody what they can believe? Like, who am I? Like, I barely even figure out what I believe. I'm trying to figure out like how this whole thing works. Now, what I love about people like Joshua is he actually is focused on a belief. He actually deepens himself in a belief. And actually I listen to him and I can go, wow. And I can actually learn something, and to me, that's more powerful than me, like in my little brain over here, kind of making up my own stuff, because it's not the direction that I'm trying to figure things out. So when I see, like, my whole thing is curiosity. So when Joshua talks about what he talks about, I'm like curious about that. Like, I'm like, wow. It's like, I'm going to drink that. I want to drink what he says, because because I trust Joshua that he's done his work, because I know him. And so when he says something, I consider what he says. So I'm real interested, like when I'm saying, let's have this other conversation. I'm really interested in how he believes, why he believes, how and where it's going, where it came from, where it's going. That's separate than the conversation right now that I'm trying to say. Let's talk about.
You interrupted me though before I got to finish what I was saying, because it actually did go back to what we were talking about. And as a host, come on, don't interrupt me. I didn't interrupt you when you came on my show. Peckerhead. Let me finish
I am. There's a bunch of promoters here. Sorry, dude. Sorry.
I plugged your book.
You're a Peckerhead. You said Peckerhead.
Oh my God.
Don't be a pussy. Use a freaking real word. Come on.
No, wait a minute. You can't see "don't be a pussy" because Betty White says they take a beating and keep on ticking.
Yeah, but that's what Joshua would say we got to do, right? Go ahead. No, finish. I apologize. Finish what you want to say.
I'm done. I'm going to buy my plane ticket. I'm out of here. Love you guys.
Peace, brother.
You know what's funny? Jack actually had a really interesting comment down there. It's like rabbit holes abound. I'm not sure how to take that, but I'm going to take that as far as being a good thing, and I'm grateful for it, because here's a show, Down the Rabbit Hole with Martine and Friends, and a show of just like, boom, rabbit holes. See where it goes. Yeah, I think that'd be amazing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes, I think Jessica likes it too. Yeah.
So what I want to do is just finish with how we practice gratitude. Like how do you go in and out, like day in and day out and practice gratitude? So if it's something that we want to practice, how do we go in day in and day out and practice? How do you do that, Thomas?
Yeah, I thought I always used the like 3 things that you're grateful for. Like before you even open your eyes, something like that. It doesn't happen all the time. I kind of go through phases. I've also done 108 days of gratitude, 30 days of gratitude, like in posting, that kind of thing. Just a couple of techniques. And then the other thing is something that Joshua just said, which I thought was brilliant, was you don't have to go through 3 things. How about 1 thing and then ask yourself why?
Yeah. And keep going deeper over and over. Yeah.
These are all different tactics. And at the end of the day, even if you don't do any of those, if we can simply be a bit more mindful, a bit more mindful of, hey, what am I grateful for? At one point in my life, I even put it as a recurring event on my calendar every other day. I'm serious, to get in these habits, to build a habit, because the more I became mindful of it, reminded, then it was constantly in mind. And so I don't know if my friend, I invited the gratitude guru over, Paul Taubman, but
Paul was here earlier. Yeah,
I learned a lot from him with it, and as well, it just becomes a habit, and now it's just simply a habit. That's it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Payam.
Practicing gratitude. As Thomas was sharing, is like every single moment. You know, the more we do it, it becomes a habit. Like I notice myself in even difficult situation, like two people are fighting with each other. I practice to be just grounded and rooted and just observe, not involve my traumas and stories and feelings that we attach to our stories. And that way, like, I can be grateful for that moment. And when we look at it, you know, I'm really grateful to be a coach, because that year-long transformational journey for me taught me to learn from the self-awareness perspective in every single moment.
Mm.
There's a lot that we can learn about ourselves, about how I am projecting my beliefs and my faith, my feelings and stories to the outside world. I love Rumi. So in a lot of his code and poems, he talks about gratitude and God. And in one of the poem, he says, when you are grateful, what you are grateful for would increase your energy, would increase your consciousness. When you're not grateful, whatever you're not grateful for, it's going to harm you.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I have this gift. If I'm grateful for it, it's going to make me a better person. Same thing. If I'm not grateful for it, it's going to look like an enemy for me. So when I change my philosophy to this, Martini, to be honest, there is no way that I cannot be grateful. There is a lot of gift that we have, and the practice is deep breathing. It all starts from there.
Yeah.
And what Joshua was sharing, just going deep. Like, I love 7-layer deep. Why? Like, why should I be grateful that I'm breathing? If you don't, if you don't breathe, you're not alive. Or like these days, a lot of people has lost their job, and I'm so grateful that I have my job. I have an income. I can't imagine how would it look like when I lose my job. It's gonna be a quite challenge. So yes, it's a normal job. I'm not getting paid 7 figures or whatever, but who cares? I care that I can take care of my own expenses and my own life. And maybe my last word here. It's a beautiful poem of Sadi. He's a Persian poet, because I'm Persian. He says, the sons of Adam are limbs of each other, having been created of one essence. When the peaceful time goes away and the pain affects one limb, the other limbs cannot remain at rest. If you have no sympathy for the troubles of others, you are unworthy to be called by the name of a human.
Wow.
So when I see everything from oneness, from one creator, then I'm even grateful for my enemies, because they have something to tell me. It's not my ego fighting them. It's like the creator has created them, so I don't get it now, but let's accept it. Let's practice acceptance and surrender. So that's another way for me to be grateful.
Payam, you know, one of the things I'm taking away from your share right there is that to be grateful is to, it's almost like take back your power, to be powerful. And it's interesting. Let's just use the example of, you know, someone that lost their job. If I lost my job, I'm grateful I lost my job. And there's an and right there. I'm grateful I lost my job. And it's not like, God, it sucks that I lost my job. It's almost like, I almost feel like an energetic barrier. Like there's a enemy. And by simply acknowledging and just saying, I'm grateful for, it allows me to pass through. It lets go. It opens up creativity. It opens up resourcefulness. There's another world. And I go back to something that I shared earlier in the broadcast. is that, and what do you have to lose? Or what, what do you have to gain by simply giving it a try? And that's my offering to maybe someone that might be watching and just popping on right now. I'm going, I don't really get it, man. I mean, it's nice when things are going great to be grateful, but why should I be grateful when I've lost my job and my friends are sick and I can't leave the house? Give it a shot. See what happens. It's not giving energy to it. What if it's letting go of the energy by acknowledging it?
I think you and Payam both did something that was really profound, and maybe you missed it, but I did catch it. Payam said, "Who cares?" And then in his next sentence, he says, "I care." And then you said, Thomas, you said, "What is there to be grateful for?" And then you answered that question. It takes a certain type of person to be able to ask a question, hear the question being asked, and then actually consider an answer for that question. So what is there to be grateful for? Sometimes there's nothing to be grateful for, but sometimes there's something to be grateful for. I don't have answers for other people. I'm barely trying to figure out the answers for myself. I appreciate you, and I'm grateful for both of you, and I'm grateful for my unfiltered friend. I love that he is gratitude unfiltered, because from the first minute I met Josh, I fell in love with him. He's awesome. He's unfiltered. He was always going to say what he wants to say. And I'm so grateful for that. So grateful for that friendship. Payam, I'm grateful for our friendship. Thank you, Thomas. I love our walks that we go and our talks that we have. I love all those. So, thank you very, very much for your friendship and your love. And that is what I'm grateful for.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Hope to talk to you guys real soon.
Yeah. Like the last thing is, like, our conversations and our brainstorming sometimes was really tough for me. You always push me to become a better version. And if I was not grateful for a relationship, I would say, like, maybe not. But like, look what we're co-creating together. And it's just the intention. Your intention is pure and it's amazing, but it might not be the way that I like to hear that. So I'm grateful for you and whatever you are doing in your life and the support that you bring to my life. So thank you. Keep this amazing broadcast and live, that you invite beautiful, amazing guests. And in this period of time, people have time and they can watch, they can learn. So thank you. Thank you, Thomas. I attended your workshop of play, and I remember that day and that period of my life. I was struggling a lot with love stresses and challenges, and that day was a breakthrough for me. So thank you.
It was awesome day.
Yes, that was beautiful.
Oh man, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.